The Denver Broncos have just traded a late round draft pick for Zach Wilson. But if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like and or subscribe. The channel is growing quickly. If we get 150 likes on this video, I'll do whatever rebuild the top comment says. But for now, Zach Wilson to the Denver Broncos. And as always, you guys know I never hold back my opinion on this channel. And you guys also know when I say that, I'm going to say some outrageous stuff. But the Broncos, for some reason, are still looking to trade up in the draft. I know Zach Wilson isn't your ideal QB1, but for some reason, it's not clicking with the Broncos that they are a rebuilding team. They are not contenders. You're $80 million in cap debt after cutting a QB who had solid QB play. Did Russell Wilson deserve his trade value? Did he deserve his contract? Absolutely not. But taking on $80 million in cap debt just to acquire Zach Wilson as his replacement and potentially trading up for JJ McCarthy whenever they don't have the leverage. You got to understand that the Vikings had pick number 11. The Broncos had pick number 12. The Vikings have 2 first-round picks and their second-round pick, I believe. The Broncos have pick number 12, and they don't have a second-round pick, and they are a rebuilding team. They can't afford to be giving up multiple future first-round picks in a chance on JJ McCarthy being good, because they don't have a second round pick, so you can't really build around your guy in JJ McCarthy or whatever QB that you're going to pick. And they're talking about shopping Patrick Surtain. He's arguably the best corner in the NFL. Some will say Jalen Ramsey, Sauce Gardner, whatever. It's an opinion. Either way, he's a top corner in the NFL. They're talking about shopping him, shopping a first round pick this year, well, swapping it this year, and then giving up a future first round pick. You're a rebuilding team. You don't have the draft capital to do this. Like the Broncos, for some reason, traded away a first-round pick for Sean Payton. Oh, Vic, you don't know anything. Head coaches are very important. Well, if you simply waited a year, Mike Vrabel would have been on the trade, well, not the trade block. He would have been a free agent coach for you. Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll, and it's like, oh, well, those aren't really good coaches anymore. I mean, Mike Vrabel is an awesome coach in my opinion, but still, it's better to get Pete Carroll or Bill Belichick for free rather than trading a first-round pick for a coach. Outrageous move from the Broncos. And then giving, of course, Russell Wilson, terrible contract, terrible trade, but dumping $80 million in dead cap. He was doing solid as a QB. He wasn't doing up to his contract, but dumping $80 million just to replace him with Zach Wilson and potentially trade away your star cornerback and a future first just to move up for the QB4 on the board. Keep in mind, you got Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, and then you have JJ McCarthy. You are trading away the best corner in the NFL, future first-round picks, for a QB4, potentially. And they're like, oh, well, we're still shopping for QBs. Broncos are retarded 90% of the time. I don't know why they're doing this. Also, to put the cherry on top, their jerseys suck. The new jerseys look terrible. The old ones actually looked really clean. It's really bad. But anyways, that's why I'm going to be rebuilding the Denver Broncos, and I am not going to be trading away Patrick Surtain. I am not going to be trading away my first-round pick. It is a rebuilding team. The Broncos need to get this through their head. We got Zach Wilson. Obviously, he's just a bridge QB for us until I can find a new one. Javonte Williams is nice when he's healthy. Then we got Cortland Sutton, extremely underrated in real life. I think he's an amazing contested catcher. Tim Patrick is always injured. Josh Reynolds, Marvin Mims, Dolchich. Offensive line-wise, I think they overpaid for Mike McGlinchey, but he's still not a bad offensive tackle like him. Garrett Bowles, Quinn Merez, I believe I might have pronounced that wrong either way. But defensive line, it's pretty bad. Zach Allen's kind of underrated, but he can't do it all by himself. The rest of these guys aren't that great. Pat Surtain, I already said my 2 cents about him. Baron Browning and Cooper. I know Baron Browning is technically an edge rusher, so do I move him down? I know he's like 240, but it's like I'm in a 4-3. And if you leave him at outside linebacker in a 4-3, they're technically going to profile as a, as a pass coverage or a run stopping outside linebacker. So I want him on as an edge rusher. So I'm going to put him at defensive end. You guys may be wondering, oh, why did you move into a 4-3? Because they're better in Madden, and honestly, this team is so bad that it wouldn't really matter regardless. They also got Brandon Jones, not a bad replacement, but still Justin Simmons would have been a better safety, I guess. But sure, he might have been expensive, and you just took on $80 million in cap debt for no reason. But anyways, let's move into the draft. In the draft, I'm picking up defensive tackle Byron Murphy II out of Texas, 6'1", 310, hidden dev. I know a lot of people may be like, oh, you could have had Jared Verse on the board. That would not have been a bad pick. But defensive tackle is definitely a need for the Broncos, and I think Byron Murphy would still be good value here. He'd be one of the best players available. Jared Verse wouldn't be a bad option too. But going offense, I mean, I think the receivers aren't horrible. They're not amazing either. I don't think Rome Odunze will be here at pick number 12 for the Broncos. In real life, I think they're going to try and trade up, of course, but maybe they do actually just stick with the right pick. In my opinion, they should not be going for a QB. Cutting Russell Wilson was stupid. Trading for him was stupid. But either way, you just got to thug it out and deal with the situation, of course. That's why I'm here to rebuild the team. He looks great. In the third round, because we don't have a second round pick, Devontae Walker out of North Carolina, 6'1", 204, only normal dev, but 95 speed, 94 acceleration. A deep route, he has F release, but it's whatever. I don't really have a third. I don't really have a second round. Now, this is the team after the draft. Walker is a 73 overall, but honestly, I don't really think he's going to start here because my other guys are just better for now. So whenever some of these guys' contracts run out, I guess you'll slowly incorporate into the offense. Zach Wilson, he's a 74 right now. I think it's just because Madden gave him a little bit more XP through the preseason. But defensively, Byron Murphy's a 74. That's nice for the defensive line. Not a crazy defense, of course. Looks like the AI picked up this guy, Tyke Smith out of Georgia. He's 5'9" for a safety, which is pretty short, actually, but it's not bad overall. The defense doesn't look obviously the worst just because of Pat Surtain. I can't believe they're actually thinking about shopping him. But anyways, the offense, I mean, the team in general, not that great. But let's see what Zach Wilson can do in Madden simulation and move into the midseason mark. 4-2, second in the division. The Raiders are 0-6. That makes sense. I mean, our defense is ranked 23rd in the NFL, and our offense is mid, so I don't know how we're doing this well. But we're here to face the 4-2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Scouting national focus, I'm just going to keep it on QB. I think it should be self-explanatory. For the players ready to negotiate, Javonte Williams doesn't want to be here. He just doesn't want to be here at all, so I'm just going to straight up just overpay him because running backs are huge for simulation, and he doesn't even want to do that, so I guess I'll get him in the offseason. Need my right guard. He just doesn't like us at all. I'm not going to have my franchise QB by now. $16 million a year. I didn't know it was going to be that expensive for my guard, but I guess I have to pay it. And the team technically has money in Madden. In real life, yes, I know they're negative $80 million, but they'll get out of that soon in real life. Baron Browning, I'll do a 2-year deal just to see how he performs. He has moderate interest with the team. He resigns on that. Jonathan Cooper, he just doesn't want to be here. He's about to turn 27, and he wants $12 million a year. Absolutely not. You're not even 80 overall. Tim Patrick is always injured. He's already 30 years old. Samaje Perine, if I mispronounced that, sorry, I just don't want him. Zach Wilson, how much you want? You want $14 million a year to be my backup QB next year? No, thank you. Garrett Bowles, I'll do one more deal with him, one more year with him until I get my future QB solidified, and then everyone else here I'm good on. So let's move into the playoffs. 9-8, third in division. We missed the playoffs. I can see that happening with the Broncos in real life. Didn't they finish 8-9 in real life? I mean, maybe probably worse with Zach Wilson here, but not a horrible season. But of course, we didn't make the playoffs. Stats and awards, Zach Wilson, honestly not horrible. 92 pass rating isn't crazy if it's 30th in the league. The offense and defense, not really the best. In real life, 92 pass rating would definitely be a solid pass rating. But in Madden, you want it to be about 100, and 16 receptions definitely isn't good. 30 touchdowns, though, 4,000 yards. Whenever you compare it to the rest of the league, it's 30th in the NFL. So in Madden, it's a little bit different, but in real life, 92 wouldn't be too bad. And then Zach Wilson, 16 interceptions. So this wouldn't be a horrible season for the Broncos if they actually got this out of him in real life. They may even keep him, but this is far from what he's actually going to do in Madden and in real life. Javonte Williams, 14 touchdowns, only 3.8 per carry, but it's not a horrible season. Cortland Sutton, great season whenever he's healthy. 103 receptions, 1,400 yards, 15 touchdowns. That's superstar dev. Josh Reynolds, 6 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. Greg Dulcich, with 700 yards, 6 touchdowns, and Marvin Mims, not bad. And then I'm assuming Walker, yeah, got nothing because he's a wide receiver 5. Cody Barton, 135 tackles for a loss, 14 for Zach Allen, sacks, 7.5 for Baron Browning, that's not bad, 6.5 for Zach Allen, interceptions, 3 for Brandon Jones and Pat Surtain. And then safeties on the team is 1 for Baron Browning. Defensive touchdowns is 1 for Damari Mathis. Joe Burrow wins his first ever Super Bowl here against the Packers. He wins the Super Bowl MVP as well. Patrick Mahomes wins the league MVP, and there are no awards here for the Broncos. For the team upgrades, Zach Wilson does not get a dev up, but Cortland Sutton does get superstar dev. I'm tempted to give Josh Reynolds star dev, but like, I mean, he's already 30. I mean, he did have a 1,000-yard season. That's definitely not bad. It should be deserving of star dev, but he's already 30, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Defensively, Byron Murphy has superstar dev. Nick Batonio, if I said that wrong, probably did. I don't care. He has star dev, and he's also an edge rusher. He doesn't even profile as a coverage linebacker, but we're going to keep him there for now. Maybe I move him down and then Zach Allen to defensive tackle. I think I'm actually going to do that. Bingo, bango, bongo. Just did that. Defensive line is looking a lot better there, but the linebacking core is kind of looking a little bit weak. Maybe Alex Singleton. Actually, I don't want to ruin Drew Sanders' career. I forgot that he was here. Should have put him at right outside linebacker, so I'm just going to do that now. Bingo, bango, bongo. Once again, it actually makes the team look a lot better. And Newton here, Josh Newton out of TCU, he's been given star dev for the team, so that's actually really nice. And the defense actually looks a lot better now, and I'm actually cool with this. I mean, it's not developed, of course, but we're an 82 overall team. Need to find my future QB. It's not Zach Wilson, but anyways, let's move into the re-signing. For the players ready to negotiate, Javonte Williams still doesn't want to be here. I'm just going to give him player-friendly again because I can't afford to lose in running back because in Madden, they're so important. Overpaid for him completely, but he re-signs with the team, and I have the money to do it right now. Jonathan Cooper wants like $12 million a year. I'm good. I honestly don't want Zach Wilson. I know this rebuild is about him, but if you wanted second-string QB money, I would give him second-string QB money, but he doesn't, so I'm not going to sign him. Just because I start with him doesn't mean I'm going to keep him. I'm going to draft a new QB like the Broncos should do, but not trade up for. But anyways, I have $96 million here to spend in free agency. Realistically, at this point, I would only have $16 million because you got to minus it from the negative $80 million in cap. Yeah, I know it's divided over 2 years, but in Madden, they don't calculate it whenever you update a roster. Whenever you cut a player, you cut the contract with them, and then it transfers over to the next team. So currently, the Steelers have that awful contract in Madden simulation. I had to change the contract whenever I did Steelers rebuilds, or he would just retire and get rid of it for me. But anyways, the Broncos do not actually have this amount of cap room. It's just in Madden because Madden doesn't properly update their game. So you're gonna have to find a workaround. Realistically, we don't have that much money to spend in free agency. So just for this season, I'm gonna skip out on free agency and just get to the draft. I am currently at pick number 16 in the draft. Yes, I waited this long to get a QB. Joey Livingston out of Penn State, 5'11", 233. I mean, he's not very big, good at throw power, solid strength. I need a QB. I might just pull the trigger on this. It honestly looks like a really short version of Bo Nix, and he's not very athletic at all. But I need a QB. This might be the guy, or Kenny Bryan here out of Syracuse, 6'6", 230. It's crazy. Oh, no, he's way better. I mean, athletically, he sucks, but strength and throw power being elite, A's across the board, A awareness. I think I'm going to take Kenny Bryan here at pick 16 out of Syracuse, 6'6", normal dev. I kind of expected that with how lackluster his athleticism was. 58 jumping is crazy, but he has 94 throw power, normal dev, and A awareness, so he's going to be a high overall. Now I have to protect my starting QB, so in the second round, I'm probably going to take a center, Clayton Ross, elite across the board. Well, elite agility, elite jumping, good speed, good strength, A's and B's across the board. He has hidden dev, 88 strength, 82 jumping, 83 speed. 82 jumping for being 6'4", 315 is kind of crazy, and he looks pretty good, so he'll be a nice center. And in round number 3, why not just fill out the rest of the offensive line? Left guard, Aaron Knox out of Washington, 6'5", 314, hidden dev, 86 strength, 81 jumping, 80 acceleration, A's across the board. He looks great for a third-round pick. Now, this is the team after the draft. Bryan is a 77 overall QB, so that's actually pretty nice, already higher than Zach Wilson, who was a 76. Yeah, 1 overall higher, but except I don't have to pay him any money. Then the O-line is looking really nice now. Honestly, the team doesn't look horrible. Hopefully, Knox, Bryan here. Kenny Bryan, I don't know why I said Knox. He's wearing 0, which is hard, by the way. But Kenny Bryan is good. I said Knox because we picked up this guy, left guard, Knox, in the 3rd round. But for the rest of the team, Byron Murphy has superstar dev, so I'm going to make him the starter. Defense, it doesn't look horrible. Specialist-wise, Byron Murphy is going to start, of course. Sanders, I actually want getting all the reps because he has star dev. Hopefully, he'll develop. Josh Reynolds. Actually, let's put Walker in the slot. Reynolds can just be the number 3 for now because he is 30. Yeah, actually, let's just make Walker the 3. He's almost the same overall, and he's just going to progress instead of regress. Team looks nice right now. Hopefully, Kenny Bryan can develop. Wearing number 0 is pretty tough. But for now, year number 2, let's get to the midseason mark. 2 and 4, bottom of the division. I guess we should have kept Zach Wilson. Now, we have the number 1 passing offense in the league and the number 2 offense. The defense just sucks for no reason. I mean, yes, our D-line isn't the most developed. Our linebacking core isn't crazy. But Pat Surtain, having an X-Factor DB in Madden Simulation is huge. But 2 and 4, I mean, we are in a very good division considering now that the Raiders are a good team because they're at the top of the division. But let's see what we have for the Scouting National Focus. For the Scouting National Focus, maybe I do middle linebacker here, defensive back, safety actually. Safety wouldn't be horrible, so I actually think I'm just going to do that. For the players ready to negotiate, I have $170 million. Patrick Surtain, of course I want you back. I'm not going to trade you like an idiot like Sean Payton. He resigns with the team about over $20 million a year. Cortland Sutton, he has superstar depth. He wants that team to have a franchise QB. That could change at the end of the year. I don't know for sure, but we are number 1 in passing, so I wouldn't be surprised if he got that tag. So for now, I'm just going to wait on that. Brandon Jones doesn't want state income tax. He wants the team to have a franchise QB. That could change, so again, I'll wait on that. Greg Dulcich here, he wants to have a mentor at his position. So with that being said, I'm going to sign Zach Ertz because he does have the mentor tag. Bingo, bango, bongo. He suddenly has interest. I'll do a 4-year deal with him, about $7 million a year. He resigns with the team. He's young and he has star dev. Nick, I don't know, but $6 million for 2 years definitely isn't bad. Even if I do replace him, he'll be nice depth for us, so I'll resign that on 2 years. Zach Allen, he's already 28, so I don't necessarily know what I'm going to do with him. Cody Barton, he just doesn't want to be here. He's about to be 29. Mathis isn't bad. He had a defensive touchdown for us last year. I guess I'll wait. Josh Reynolds is already 30. Garrett Bowles, he's already 33, about to be 34. So maybe in free agency, I'll have to look to get like Ronnie Stanley or someone like that. Will Lutz, I'll probably just get a different kicker in free agency. But I do have a lot of money now that that dead cap is gone. So for now, let's move into the playoffs. Finishing 6 and 11, our passing offense went from number 1 in the league to number 12, and our points per game went from number 1 in the league, or number 2, and it was the number 2 in the league, to number 25th. Okay, and our defense suddenly just started doing good. I don't know how that makes sense. Stats and awards, Kenny Bryan, not really good, kind of worse than Zach Wilson. 21st best offense, 7th best defense, but almost 4,000 passing yards, 27 touchdowns to 15 receptions, 93 pass rating. For a rookie season, it's not bad, but it's not great either. Javonte Williams, 10 touchdowns, 4.0 per carry, 1,100 yards, solid season. Cortland Sutton, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. Marvin Mims, 4 touchdowns, 900 yards. Devontae Walker, 900 yards, 7 touchdowns. Great ball distribution here. Defensively, Drew Sanders, 123 tackles for a loss, 24 for Zach Allen, 24 for Baron Browning, 22 for Byron Murphy. A lot of tackles for a loss. 8 for Baron Browning for sacks, and then 6 for Byron Murphy, 6 for Batonio. So that's not bad for sure, but I need someone with double-digit sacks on the team. Patrick Surtain with 4 interceptions, safeties on team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. And the Chiefs once again beat the Niners in the Super Bowl. Isaiah Pacheco wins the Super Bowl MVP. Dak Prescott wins the league MVP, and there are no awards here for the Broncos, which really sucks for a QB's development. In the AFC West, Zach Ertz retires. Well, whatever, it's fine. He was just a temporary sign. For the team upgrades, Kenny Bryan does not get a dev up, which really sucks. Our offensive linemen are just star devs. That's fine. Defensively, ooh, Byron Murphy with superstar X Factor. Zach Allen gets superstar, so I'm probably going to sign him for another year. Baron Browning gets superstar as well. That's nice to see. And then apart from that, Mathis actually has star dev now, so that could be a re-sign. But apart from that, let's move into the re-signing. For the players ready to negotiate, Cortland Sutton just doesn't want to be here, so can I just overpay him for 1 more year just in case I do get the franchise QB tag? And he's also 30, so let's see if he'll take that. If he wants to play for a new team, I'm honestly just going to... $33 million? I don't want to tag him for $33 million. Maybe I can go after him in free agency and try again. I'm not doing $33 million. That's outrageous. Brandon Jones, he just doesn't want to be here, and he's 28, so maybe I'll just move on from that. Zach Allen, he just got superstar dev. I'll do 1 more year with him because of the superstar dev, and I have the money to do it. So I'm going to do that. And then halfback, don't really need that. Mathis here. He's 27. He wouldn't be bad if he had interest with the team, but if he's not going to want to be here, then I won't hold him here. Garrett Bowles, only $8 million for 1 more year for $79 million. I'll do that. Maybe I still get a different left tackle in free agency, but for now, I'm just going to resign him to 1 year. Apart from that, Willets doesn't want to be here, so let's move in to free agency. After free agency, I got Jalen Phillips as a new edge rusher, Geno Stone as a free safety, Michael Dixon as a punter, and Jason Sanders as a kicker. They're both 30 years old, but kickers and punters don't really regress that heavy in Madden, and these guys will be nice pieces for the defense. I'm at pick number 4. There's a wide receiver called Nick Short, and he's 6'5". Just wanted to mention this. Elite strength, solid speed, great acceleration. I'm not going to pick him, but he does look really, really nice, and I do want a good receiver. You know what? I think... Nah, I've just convinced myself. I'm going to pick him. Nick Short, who is 6'5", hidden dev, 90 speed, 93 acceleration, 235, looks great, 91 jumping, A release, A spec catch, A deep route. I'm going to move him to wide receiver 1. In the second round, I'm picking up strong safety Josh Matthias out of Oklahoma, 5'9", so short, just like my other free safety, but 223, 89 speed, 92 acceleration, hidden dev, B's across the board. He's very balanced, so that's why I took him. In the third round, picking up left outside linebacker Alex Pitts out of LSU, 6 foot, 231, very balanced athleticism, 91 acceleration, 91 agility, hidden dev, A zone coverage, and A pursuit is mainly why I took him. And in the fourth round, middle linebacker Devontae Hamilton out of South Carolina, 6'1", 241, hidden dev, 86 speed, 87 acceleration. I am nailing this draft. A block shedding, A play rec, A hit power, and B tackle. Year number 3 for the team. Nick Short is already an 80 overall. That's sick. He's going to be the wide receiver 1. Hopefully Brian really likes him because he's going to be the guy whether he likes it or not. Ben Powers isn't bad, but Knox is still going to be the starter just because he's younger and has the dev. Hamilton is a 75 for a 4th round pick. It's amazing. Pitts is a 72. Matthias is a 75. Smith is a 2nd string strong safety there. Team looks really, really good here. Just a little bit development needs to be on the offensive line and the linebacking core. But an 84 overall isn't horrible. It's year number 3. I need Brian to put up some numbers. The defense was ranked number 7 last year. Yes, it's technically a little bit of a downgrade in terms of overall at wide receiver 1, but the O-line has developed a little bit more. Hopefully my QB will develop a little bit more. And for now, let's move into the midseason mark for year number 3. 4-3, bottom of the division, but we are in a highly contested division. Offensive points per game is 22nd. The defense is 6, so I guess it's like the first year that they had Russell Wilson whenever the defense was balling, but Russell Wilson couldn't put up 20 points a game, which is crazy, but still, let's see what we have for the scouting national focus. I think for this, I'm just going to do depth at defensive tackle, because why not? For the players ready to negotiate, Baron Browning, I'll just keep for the rest of the rebuild. Might as well. He is superstar dev. He re-signs on a 2-year deal. Marvin Mims, I mean, he doesn't want to be here. He wants to be in a Super Bowl chase. I don't think that's going to happen this year, but I'm just going to hold off to the end of the year. Drew Sanders, he wants to have a mentor at his position. So with that being said, I'm going to get Preston Smith as a right outside linebacker for a mentor. Bingo, bango, bongo suddenly has interest as the cheap deal. I'll do 5 years with him. He resigns, and he's young with star dev, of course. Then Zach Allen, I might as well just keep him for the rest of the rebuild. I have the money to keep him. He has superstar dev, and he doesn't even resign after increasing his money, so I guess not. And then everyone else here, Ben Powers, no, I already have his replacement. Garrett Bowles, do I just keep him for the entire time? Maybe I'll get him in free agency since he already has hidden, well, not hidden dev. I was about to say high interest here. Maybe there's a better left tackle. I guess we'll see. Byron Murphy, I'll accept this option. Preston Smith was just a signing for the mentor tag, of course. And apart from that, we're going to move in to the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, 10-7, second in the division. The Raiders completely fell off as we blew them out 38-3 in week 18. But we're going to have to upset the Bengals to move on. Joe Burrow's a 99 overall, so I highly doubt we're going to do that. Stats and awards, Kenny Bryan, mid, I guess. 19th best offense, 8th best defense. It's just, I mean, this isn't horrible for sure. 99 pass rating, obvious in real life. Probably wouldn't be this, but still 27 touchdowns to 10 receptions isn't bad, but for Madden, it's not necessarily the best. In real life, this would actually be a pretty nice season. 99 pass rating, of course. And then Javonte Williams, 13 touchdowns, 4.8 per carry, 1,200 yards. He continues to progress through us with us throughout this rebuild is what I meant to say, so he seems pretty nice. Nick Short, 900 yards, almost 1,000, 8 touchdowns. It really sucks that my QB didn't target Nick Short so that way he could get a dev upgrade, but it's fine. Devontae Walker, 900 yards, 9 touchdowns. A really nice ball distribution, but I'd rather them just feed Nick Short so that way he can get some crazy numbers. Drew Sanders, 115 tackles for a loss, 20 for Zach Allen sacks, 15 for Baron Browning, 12 for Jalen Phillips, 11 for Byron Murphy. This is the exact breakout that I wanted from my defensive line. Baron Browning is going to get X Factor with that. Jalen Phillips, superstar. Byron Murphy is already an X Factor. So this is great for my defensive line. 3 interceptions for Pat Surtain, and then 1 safety for Baron Browning, and 0 defensive touchdowns. Can my team, specifically my defense, clutch up and upset the Cincinnati Bengals? They do not. 21-17 sucks. Our offense only scoring 17 points makes sense. So let's move into the offseason. And the Falcons beat the Bengals in the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow loses another Super Bowl. Michael Hodge, defensive back for the Falcons, wins the Super Bowl MVP. Joe Burrow wins the league MVP. And there are no awards here for the Broncos once again. In the AFC West, Preston Smith retires. It's fine. He was just a mentor player along with Travis Kelce. For the team upgrades, Nick Short comes with superstar X Factor. I was right to pick him. It's just unfortunate that he didn't get the time to develop, and I couldn't have him in year number 1. But of course, Nick Short, he looks amazing. I was about to say a grazing. I don't know why. I guess I'm glazing, boys. But if you want me to do a career simulation of Nick Short, that would be sick. Let me know down in the comments below. I think he would be a sick player, but he looks generational to me, but we won't be able to have time to develop him. But he is a superstar X Factor. Defensively, my entire D-line is just an X Factor now. I don't know why Jalen Phillips didn't get superstar dev. Pitts comes with X Factor. I'm a baller at drafting, dude. Hamilton comes with star. Pitts was a 3rd-round pick, by the way. Browning's an X Factor. Allen's an X Factor. Phillips, he had 12 sacks, and he had, I believe 20 tackles for a loss. That's definitely deserving superstar dev. Also, he's not wearing Von Miller's number. I'm changing that. And number 55 is not good as well, so let's change it to 53. He's going to wear that. I'm not letting him wear Von Miller's number, but superstar dev for Jalen Phillips. He had 12 sacks. Oh, you're cheating, Vic. I don't care. My defense is already so good, but my offense is so bad that it really doesn't matter. Matthias here, he has star dev. 85 overall team. My QB didn't really develop, but hopefully, I guess I just have to keep saying hopefully he does, which really sucks. But anyways, let's move into the re-signing. For the re-signings, Byron Murphy will accept the option. Marvin Mims actually wants to be with the team now for the Super Bowl chase, and he says, I enjoyed playing for you. I gave you, well, I'm just going to sign him in free agency. I don't know why he's being picky. Zach Allen, he has X Factor. I might as well just keep him for the final season. $16 million for 1 year. He re-signs. And everyone else here, I'm just not interested in. Garrett Bowles, I think I can find maybe a better left tackle in free agency. If not, I'll just re-sign him. Marvin Mims, I'll get him in free agency, so let's move into it. After free agency, I'm getting an absolute stud in Kyle Hamilton, another X Factor for my defense because I have the money to. Trent Brown, who's a higher overall than Garrett Bowles. He's an 84, got him on a 1-year deal. Got Marvin Mims back, got Chidobe Awuzie, and I got Elijah Mitchell as depth. So I think that's a really, really nice free agency. Now, for the Broncos fans that don't understand this team right here is the Super Bowl ready team, and this is whenever you trade for a stud quarterback and not trade for Russell Wilson. Now, as much as I don't like Dak Prescott in real life, in Madden, he's an 88 overall superstar X Factor, 34-year-old QB that the Cowboys don't even plan on keeping on real life. So I'm switching a future QB, well, a future starter QB, and my this year's 1st round pick along with my 4th round pick for superstar X Factor Dak Prescott. In the 2nd round, picking up a defensive tackle because I can. He only has normal dev, but he has 90 strength, 83 acceleration, A's across the board. He still looks nice. Now, this is the team moving into the 4th and final year, and looks like the AI is already prepared to give up on Dak. Sean Montgomery out of Kentucky wearing number 9 here, hidden dev, 94 throw power is nice, 87 speed, 88 acceleration. He actually looks pretty good. Livingston is going to be a fullback. Well, actually, I'd rather just have him at 2nd string tight end, but all here at fullback. Then Dak Prescott, he's actually got some decent receivers here. Sure, I know he's only an 85, but he is an X Factor. Solid offensive line, actually a great offensive line in my opinion. Then, of course, Javonte Williams, Elijah Mitchell. Dak Prescott hopefully puts up some great numbers for us. So many X Factors here, even though like 4 of them are below an 85 overall. Don't worry about that. The defense is stellar. Let's see what we can do for the 4th and final year. And within a span of 4 years, we went from Russell Wilson to Zach Wilson to, Russell Wilson to Zach Wilson to Kenny. I'm already blanking on his last name. You guys know who I'm talking about, out of Syracuse. The guy that I picked in the oh my gosh, I can't believe I just traded him away and I already blanked on his name. Whatever. We're on Dak Prescott now. 4 quarterbacks in 4 years. So apart from that, let's move in to the 4th and final season. 13-4, top of the division, stealing it from the Chiefs as we get the 1st round bye. That is huge for us. Stats and awards, Dak is a top 5 QB. Not in real life. I mean, in the regular season, absolutely. So this is already realistic. But in the playoffs, he's going to choke it for us. 4,500 yards, 36 touchdowns to only 4 interceptions. Yeah, that's crazy. 118 pass rating. Amazing year for Dak. 19 touchdowns for Javonte Williams. 4.2 per carry. 1,200 yards is great. Nick Short, 110 receptions. 1,400 yards, 16 touchdowns. This dude is going to be a stud. Let me know down in the comments below if you want me to do a career simulation of Nick Short because he looks amazing. Devontae Walker, 8 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. Marvin Mims, 800 yards, 3 touchdowns. Greg Dulcich, which 4 touchdowns and almost 700 yards. Defensively, Drew Sanders with 107 tackles for a loss, 16 for Byron Murphy, sacks, 18 for Jalen Phillips, 18 for Baron Browning, 13 for Byron Murphy. Crazy season for all these guys. And now Jalen Phillips will be an X factor. My entire defensive line will have an X factor, which is crazy. 4 interceptions for Patrick Surtain, and then safeties, 0 defensive touchdowns is 1 for Drew Sanders and 1 for Chidobe Awuzie. Now, who will this amazing team, amazing defense be playing the divisional round just to choke it? We haven't even won a playoff game yet, so I'm going to hop into this against the 90 overall Baltimore Ravens. We could definitely lose this, but I don't want that to happen, of course. Here we are against the Baltimore Ravens. We're going to start out with 7. They're going to respond with 3, and then we're going to respond with another 3. They're going to put another 3 on the board. Defense is holding strong. We're going to open up the half with the ball and capitalize on it. Defense is doing amazing against this Baltimore offense as we're pitching a blowout now, and the Ravens don't even score 6. Well, don't even score a touchdown throughout the entire game. Blowout, 38-6, as Dak Prescott puts up almost 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. Let's move into the conference championship. In the conference championship, we're going to be facing off against the 11-6, 87 overall Jacksonville Jaguars. Here we are against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going to start out with a punt. We're going to immediately punt it back to them, too. 3-0 start for the Jaguars, 6-0. Offense needs to do something here, 7-6 against the Jaguars. Defense is still doing a really good job, but both defenses are actually doing a really good job. 10-6 here against the Jaguars. Just run the ball, 17-6. And once again, the defense does not allow a single touchdown, clutching up, only allowing 6 points. This defense is nuts. Let's move on to the Super Bowl. And we're going to be facing off against the 10-7 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their QB is Jaden Daniels. I guess they drafted him. I don't know how he fell that far, but sure, Jaden Daniels to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And for the team upgrades, wow, my second string tight end is a superstar X Factor. You know what? Let's just have a superstar X Factor fullback. This team is actually crazy despite Dak Prescott regressing. That's nuts that my second string tight end gets X Factor. Jalen Phillips, he just had like, what, 15 sacks on the year, and you're going to tell me that's not good enough for X? 18 sacks. He had 18 sacks. He's getting X Factor. This D-line is crazy. 4, 5, 6, 7 superstar X Factors on my team is nuts. The D-line is so good. Baron Browning's up to a 92 overall. This is a crazy good defense. Definitely the best I've ever built in simulation, which I didn't think I'd be saying today. Crazy how many X Factors I have, holding 2 playoff teams in the conference championship and the divisional round to only 6 points, let alone the Baltimore Ravens offense to 6 points, which is nuts. Here we are against the Buccaneers as they get home field advantage once again now that they're back in the Super Bowl. 6-3. Defense hasn't allowed a touchdown to the Buccaneers. Can we do another 6-point game for the other team? No, but still another field goal. No touchdowns for the Buccaneers. Still no touchdowns. Offense just hold the ball and run it out. First touchdown of the playoffs, and throughout the entirety of the playoffs, my defense has only allowed 1 touchdown. 16 points was the most points they allowed. Defense wins championships. 24-16. Dak Prescott not really having the best game, but it doesn't matter because the defense carries him. Jaden Daniels, 4 interceptions is an atrocious game for him. Defense is just such lockdown, dude. It's so crazy. If there's 4 interceptions, defense, there has to be a defensive MVP here. Yeah, Pat Surtain, 3 interceptions. He's getting Super Bowl MVP. Crazy game from him. Crazy rebuild from us, and I'm actually super happy with this final result. Glad that I traded for Dak Prescott in that final season. Your Super Bowl MVP is Patrick Surtain, no surprise there, and there are no other awards here for the Broncos as we win the Super Bowl in the 4th year. And yes, I know I'm glazing, but you guys gotta like the video, dude. This is crazy how amazing this defense is. It looks like Trent Brown retired as a left tackle, but this defense, yes, I'm glazing. Imagine the development of this defense. Yes, Zach Allen wouldn't develop, he would regress, but Pitts would progress. This entire defense D-line would be so amazing for progression as well. And then Nick Short would be amazing, already getting a Super Bowl ring, so he might be a Hall of Famer. I'd love to check up on that career. But this would be an amazing simulation just to do the career simulation of Nick Short because he looks like a stud. Everyone else here looks great. So apart from that, guys, I thank you guys all for watching. Make sure you like and or subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.